Hey, Sandy MacKay here with MacKay Realty Network, and today I want to give you some thoughts on perspective and what your perspective is around your situation in life, your current situation, whether that's, you're really thriving and crushing it in whatever your job is or your family life or your relationships or your money, or maybe the total opposite. Maybe you're really struggling in some areas, and it really helps to sit back and just consider your perspective and what perspective you are placing on your current situation, whatever that current situation is. We had some conversation around this with our team this week and the past couple of weeks around the state of the current real estate market. It's challenging. It's, nobody has any money. Nobody wants to invest in real estate. Interest rates are really high. There's 50% fewer sales than there was in the last 12-month period. So there's all these different situations, different things that are affecting the market, potentially affecting our opportunity to go out and make a living or make a great living in real estate as a salesperson or as an investor. And I love this quote from Winston Churchill, who says that a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, while an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And it's worth auditing your current perspective on life and your situation and having that lens on it where you can look at it and say, am I being that optimist or am I being more that pessimist who's seeing difficulty, even though there might be some real life difficulties going on, but can you put your optimistic spin on it and find the opportunity? Because that's going to create a big difference in your ultimate choices that you make based on that perspective and that mindset you're in around your current situation. And so a lot of us, we don't spend enough time auditing that perspective. And what it leads us to doing is creating choices, making choices in our life that are ultimately not very effective choices. And it leads us to sometimes down a big rabbit hole that affect that one choice, affects the next choice, affects the next choice, and you ultimately find yourself in a state and a place that you're not really excited about. And so it starts with that perspective that leads to some potentially great choices, which leads to ultimately someone who is gritty and is able to get through challenges in life. They often are not just born being gritty; they're often born more of having some awareness on their perspective, which will allow them to make great choices, which done over time, over and over and over again, they get that label of being a gritty person who can fight through anything. And often it's just the choices they're making based on their perspective. So we talked a lot about this in our organizations this past week, and what it stemmed from was this really cool story in the Major League Baseball, and it is a Pittsburgh Pirates player who, by the name of Drew Maggi. If you don't follow baseball, you've probably never heard the story. And something that we caught and thought it was really interesting because it's a story about a guy, Drew Maggi, a baseball player. He has just recently got called up to the Major Leagues, MLB. He got called up to the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. He has been in their minor league system for many years. He has played 13 seasons in the minor leagues, 1,154 games in the minor leagues, and really thought about what does that person's perspective have to be so that he can go and show up every year to spring training, every year with that mindset of, I'm going to work really hard this year and I'm going to make the major leagues, because he's into his 30s now, getting pretty old for someone in Major League Baseball or minor league baseball. And yet he's still showing up. He's still working hard, making the choice to show up and earn the right to eventually get called up and have his major league debut. He's ultimately got a hit now, an RBI. And I think he actually even got sent back down to the minors now at this point. But every year for 13 years, he's shown up, worked hard, made the choice to show up because somewhere in his mind must be the perspective that this is my year, that I can create opportunity for myself out of the difficult situation I'm in so that I can achieve my dream of making the major leagues. So really cool story. You can probably pick that up somewhere else in a video and learn more about it. Some really cool 2-3 minute videos out there with him getting called up, and actually the coach talks exactly about this same thought of perspective and how that leads to your choices, which ultimately can make you into a gritty or a not so gritty person. And just having that understanding, having the self-awareness to go into that mindset and think about those perspectives you have in your day-to-day life can be really impactful. And I urge you to go think a little bit more about this. What are some areas of your life maybe that you have some perspectives that you're not really proud of? Maybe you could change them a little bit. Maybe that would lead you to making some different choices. and hopefully better your life in some way. So that's my thoughts for this week, and I hope that helps you. And we look forward to chatting more again in future videos. Please like, share, subscribe. Would appreciate any feedback, any comments. If you want to learn more about this, or you have thoughts on this yourself, share in the comments section, and we'll talk to you again soon.